All right, guys. So I'm back. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about doing some other stuff for you guys, like something fun maybe, but this just broke, so I kind of just want to jump right in, and skip all the niceties, if you know what I mean. So this was just breaking. This is from Live Now from Fox. Breaking: New York AG Letitia James indicted on fraud charges. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
I do want to discuss some breaking news right now as we are learning here into our newsroom that a grand jury has indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James on potential around alleged fraud, indicted on fraud charge in the latest case against a Trump foe. This, according to an Associated Press source. The contents of the indictment still not unsealed as of Thursday afternoon. James has been under investigation since May over a 2023 mortgage she took out to help a niece buy a home in Norfolk, Virginia. Of course, this also coming in the same district, the Eastern District of Virginia, that we saw earlier within the last several weeks. James Comey get indicted as the U.S. Attorney there, Lindsay Halligan. She is now in that position after under pressure by Trump to bring charges against Comey and
Oh
James.
look,
Eric
she
Seibert
doesn't have a big
resigned,
stupid
was
smile on her
replaced
face
by
no
the
more.
U.S. Attorney, a former personal attorney to Trump, Lindsay Halligan. So the charges obviously come as Trump continues to call for his enemies to be prosecuted in court. Former FBI Director James Comey pleaded not guilty on Wednesday to allegedly making a false statement in a congressional proceeding. The Justice Department also opened investigation into former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton, Democrat Adam Schiff, and others. Of course, Letitia James, the relationship between her and Trump has been adversarial for years as James campaigned on promises to investigate Trump and ultimately won a civil fraud case against Trump, his adult sons, and his real estate business. The judge found them liable for fraud for inflating the value of their properties in order for Trump to pay $355 million in penalties. Trump has appealed that case. So some big news here. New York Attorney General Letitia James indicted on a fraud charge by a grand jury there in Virginia. So obviously big breaking news that we're following here on Live Now from Fox, and the second such indictment in.
So you guys saw that, and what's funny is I believe that it had gotten overturned for that. Um, so she was able to, they were able to like knock that out because that was just stupid, because everybody who buys a house, anybody who knows that buys a house knows that you appraise it, and then um, the person you're buying it from appraises it, and then the person that buys it is also getting it appraised by their bank, and they're gonna kind of weigh to see if the amount that's being told is correct. They'll know, like, okay, we can go ahead and lend you the money to purchase the home for the value that we see that it's worth. So it's stupid for the whole thing that she's doing, but you notice how when the left blames you for something, they be wagging that finger, but it's also pointing right back at them. You know what I'm saying? So this is actually from Axios. New York AG Letitia James indicted on 2 charges. Again, this is breaking news right now, so we're getting the information as it comes. New York's Attorney General Letitia James was criminally indicted on 2 counts by the grand jury on Thursday. The big picture, quote, "We will fight these baseless charges aggressively, and my office will continue to fiercely protect New Yorkers and their rights," James said on X after the bank fraud and making false statement charge were announced. So New York AG Letitia James indicted for alleged bank fraud. New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted on charges of bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution by a federal grand jury in Virginia on Thursday, according to the Justice Department. Why it matters in the latest development in President Trump's long-run feud with James as he pursues retribution against political adversaries who pursued prosecution against him during his first White House term and in years after. It's funny that they're trying to make it seem like he's going after his political opponents, but notice how they're not denying that, the Dems went after their political opponents, because that's how it started. He wasn't one trying to go after them. Because you got to remember, when Trump first hit the scene, everybody loved him. Everybody wanted to be Trump. He was in all the movies, TV shows like Sex and the City, Home Alone. He was in like all these rapper songs. Everybody wanted to be like Trump. you know, because he was the dude, you know, he was the man. And as soon as he decided to run for president, all of a sudden everybody disliked him, which was ridiculous because Trump was more left leaning than he was right. And the only reason he couldn't run as a Democrat was because they weren't allowing him to, so he ended up running as a Republican. Now, they started like coming after him after that. That's when they started calling him all these horrible things and lying about his character. He was the only president, you know, when he first ran and even in his second term where he did not take a salary. He actually donated it. So he actually became poor as when he became president. You know, he just had all this added stress. And he even said it in a quote when they interviewed him that the only reason he was running was because if it wasn't going to get better, he's going to have to step in. And I don't know about y'all, but when he was first in office, my life seemed like it went 100 times better. And then when Biden came into office, all of a sudden my life dipped and it sucked. And now it feels like it's starting to go back on track, which, you know, I'm thankful for. But I don't think this is retribution. I think this is just karma because, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Once we get more information, I'll probably come back on here again and talk to you guys about it. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Till next time. Bye.